Hello and welcome to my session about Power Apps AI Builder form processing. My name is David Schneider and I'm gonna show you today how you can extract information of physical or digital forms. We wanna get rid of all these endless paper stacks that we have in our daily life as an information worker. There are a lot of paper forms or PDF forms around, all structured in the same way, all containing information, and we want to now see a way how to extract this information automatically using Power Apps AI Builder form processing. The Power Apps AI Builder form processing is a robotic process automation tool for business users. This means it allows you to automate daily routine work, as for instance, extracting information from paper or PDF forms. To start, you need to have a set of forms which look the same way. So they should have the same layout, they should contain the same kind of data, and the same fields at the same location. And we need to build a model. And to build a model, we need to have some sample forms, normally at least 5 documents. We upload them to Power Apps. Then we select the relevant information. So we select the location where the information is written on the form. We train the model. And finally, we can use the model in a Power Apps or in a Power Automate flow. And we can upload other documents of this form type and then extract the information, use that in a Power Apps or in a Power Automate flow. Let's have a look. For this, I go to make.powerapps.com and I click on the Build AI Builder build part. Here you have different features, but today we're going to talk about the form processing. Let's create the new model for invoices I get from my local supermarket. First, I need to define which information I want to extract from these forms. So I want to extract an invoice number, I want to extract the date, and also the total amount. Now we need to upload some sample forms. I can upload them from my local storage, from a SharePoint, or from an Azure Blob Storage. I have them stored locally, so I just pick 5 PDFs and upload them. Now Power Apps analyze these documents. Here we are, documents are analyzed. Now we need to specify where we find these 3 metadata, these 3 information snippets that we want to extract from these forms. So we can select the location where the invoice number is stored, where the date is stored, and where the total amount is stored. We need to do that on every of these 5 sample documents. On the second one, the 2 first, like the invoice number and the date, is detected automatically. We just need to select the total amount. Here as well. And the last one, oops, that was too much. Just the number, total, and that's it. Now the model is ready to be trained. So I click on train. This takes again some seconds or minutes. So the model is trained and we can do a quick test using the quick test functionality. I just need to take a random form of the same layout and drop it here. And then you will see that the model is detecting the invoice number, the date, and the total amount. Here we go. And what you also see is the confidence score. Like how confident is the model about finding the right information. Now we can publish the model and we can use it in a Power Automate or a Power Apps. Every time you publish the model, it generates a new version. This means that you can work with a published model, and in the background you can extend the model, add new fields, or you can add new sample documents and train that model. But all your Power Apps or Power Automate always runs against a published model. So we're going to use that model in a Power App. This creates us a new Canvas app in Power Apps and adds this AI Builder form processing control on it. Here we go. This is the control that was added automatically. I will just add another label, which we will use to display the total amount. And I can do that by typing form processor 1, which is the name of the control here, then fields, and then I get the 3 fields I defined in my model, and I select the total to display the total amount which is detected here in the model. So we can select one invoice, it will be uploaded and then analyzed by the model, and then it should display the fields here which are detected, plus it shows the total amount in my label. I can use that in any Power App functionality I want, as you can imagine. So this is pretty cool. I want to quickly show you another functionality here. You can not only extract fields, but you can also extract tables. This feature is in preview, but actually it works pretty well. So we're going to want to extract also the items on that invoice. There's a product name, and I guess a product price. So we want to extract these two, this table and these two information. I just need to analyze the form once again. I use the same sample documents. Here we go. We're gonna need to tell the model again where this table is located on our sample documents. Power Apps automatically detects the tables, so it found 3 tables. We're gonna use this one and say tag the table and say this is the item table, and then it detects the columns. The first one is the product name, and here we have the product price. We need to select that on all 5, but as you can see here now, it's on the second one, and normally on all following it already detected the table plus the column correctly. Here we go, and finally the last one, save and close. Now the model is ready to be trained. Here you have to take care. This is the published model you see with the 3 fields. I need to edit the draft, the new model, and here I can click on train, and this trains now the new model, and then we are ready to test that and to publish a new version of that model. Here we go. The model has been trained successfully. Here again we see the published version and the last trained version, and on this we have also the items table. We're going to do a quick test. Just grab another random invoice and it will not only detect the 2 or 3 fields, it will also detect the tables with the product name and the price. Here we go. Now we can use that table as well in our Power Apps and display or extract the information from the table and reuse that in our logic. Now, as I mentioned before, all these forms, if you want to create a model, then all the forms need to have the same format. Here we go, the model is trained. We open it again. We have the published version, the one with the 3 fields, and the last trained model. And here you find the new field or the new table items. Now, here we go. The model is trained. If I click on it, I first see the published version, the one without the table. But on the last trained version, I find this version with the items table, and I can do another quick test. I just grab invoice, and it will detect not only the 2 or the 3 fields, invoice number, date, and total, but it will also detect the table. And this table can be used as a data set in our Power Apps or in a Power Automate. Now let's get back to the slides. Best practices are, as I said, you need to have forms or documents with the same layout. They need to be simple, so no complex documents, no nested tables, few images and few checkboxes. The invoice that I showed you before was quite good. Each document needs to be in a separate file, and you need to have at least 5 samples, 5 PDFs, JPEGs, or PNG to create a new model, and these files shouldn't be bigger than 4 megabytes. As I mentioned more than once, Power Apps AI form processing needs form with the same layout. But what happens when you have unstructured forms like sales receipts? Now there is also a solution in Preview which allows you to scan these sales receipts and extract the information of these receipts. It's in Preview, and today it works best with receipts that you have from the United States. You find the same the functionality on the AI Builder build page. Here you have the receipts processing. It's in Preview. You can use it in a flow or in an app. And you don't need to define your own model. The model is already created by Microsoft, and you just can start and use it. I have here a receipt I downloaded from the internet. And as you can see, this is just a random receipt I took. It extracts the date, it extracts the time, and it extracts all the purchased items, the subtotal, the tax, and the total. So I guess with this model, it will be super easy to categorize and manage all the sales receipts that you have in your daily life, and you can include that very easily in a Power Apps or in a Power Automate. Now let's talk about Power Automate. You can use the same model to extract information from the forms in a Power Automate flow. In this example, I'm gonna link the flow to a SharePoint library, and when a new file is created in a folder, we will call the predict action. This predict action is linked to our model. It takes as an input the file content, and it extracts the file, the information, and we can put that again to file properties on SharePoint. So let's have a look how this can be used. So I'm gonna open flow.microsoft.com, And I create a new flow here. I take a blank flow and name it extract invoice information. And the trigger is when a file is created in a folder. I have prepared a folder on my SharePoint. I just select the shared documents folder here. Then I take this predict, AI Builder predict action. I select the model that we created before, the invoices model here. And then I need to specify the content type, which is provided by my trigger, and the file content. Now I need to get some more file information. I need to call the get file metadata action to get the item ID. That's just a SharePoint thing. That's here the file identifier. Now we can update the metadata file properties. We update the file properties on that file. So I select again my invoices library. Then I set the item ID, and it should load me as well the other fields. Here we go. I can fill in invoice number, invoice date, and total amount. So this information I get from the predict action. And I not only get the name or the value and the display name, but I also get the boxes, like where the information was found on the form, with the coordinates and the bounding box of that place where it was found on the form. But we are only interested in the values. So we take the invoice number, we take the invoice date value, and we take the total amount value. There we go, we save, and then we're gonna test it. Once it's saved, I can click on test. I say I will perform the trigger myself. So now let's upload a few of these invoices to my SharePoint document library. They are uploaded. Now the flow is triggered 3 times. Flow is running. So I see the flow run successfully. I can go back to my SharePoint list and refresh, and as you can see here now, 3 columns are filled with the metadata that is stored in the PDF file. So I extracted the invoice number, I extracted the invoice date, and the total amount. So in few minutes, I was able to create a model based on a standard form, and I was able to link that model to a SharePoint library, and this allows me to extract the metadata of the form of these documents and put them into SharePoint fields. This is just awesome, I would say. Now let's go back to the slides. Power Apps AI Builder form processing is an easy tool to start. You can achieve a lot, but it might be that it's not enough because it has its limits. If you have complex forms, if you have handwritten forms, or if you need to have an API, have some data privacy requirements, or also if you have a high load and need to have a guaranteed performance, then AI Builder form processing might not be the right choice for you. And then perhaps it's better to check out Azure Cognitive Services Form Recognizer, because this platform as a service offering from Azure. It offers to detect information from also handwritten forms, PDF and images. It's available in English and in 12 regions. It offers a REST API for training, management, and prediction. And it's very easy integrated into like other PaaS offerings like Logic Apps or Azure Service Bus. There is a Docker image to train it. And as in Power Apps, there is also a pre-built sales receipt model for sales receipts from the United States. So if you start with Power Apps, AI builder form processing, and you suddenly realize that it's not enough, then why not have a look at Azure Form Recognizer? Because this solution will perhaps give you the power that you need to implement your business requirements. And with this, I'm at the end of this short session. I would like to thank you. And if you want any further information, feel free to contact me on LinkedIn or on Twitter. I'm glad to help. I hope you enjoy the session and I wish you all the best. See you.